So, welcome everyone to the inaugural first ever late night eComm with Rachel and Thad. This is
Hi,
our
Monty.
inaugural podcast, and we're super excited about this. We've been talking about this for a little bit. Um, Rachel's just an amazing gal. We just have, a lot of fun together, and it just made sense that we start doing something. So here it is. We're giving it to the world, first ever, right now.
Very cool. Yeah, that feel the same about you. Feel like we really complement each other. So today we're going to talk about ads, of course, but we're going to talk about boosting posts versus using ads manager and using a pixel. And we've got a lot of e-commerce store owners that we've talked to who are advertising and they think they're running ads and they think they're targeting people and having custom audiences, but they're actually just boosting posts. So we wanted to go into that today because we want people to understand the difference so they can understand the pros and cons of both and really know how to get the most bang for their buck. Because a lot of people really think that when they're running these ads, that they're full-fledged advertising campaigns, which is not the case. So we're going to talk about a little bit about that today.
So with that, Rachel, let's what do you think? We'll share this article here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Now, we're still
Open.
working out the bugs, okay? We literally just decided to do this and here we are. No
Yeah.
pre-production, we didn't script anything, no pre-planning. We just thought this is what we're going to talk about, so here we go.
Yeah. We had a lot, and just, we had a lot of people who we saw that were dealing with this. And I think we just wanted to make sure that we could help people, because when we talk to them, we're used to talking to people who have fully set up ad accounts and they're running campaigns. So when we come across people that don't, I think it's important to serve those people too and give them the answers that they need, so they can figure out, okay, well, I've been running these campaigns. Why am I not getting sales on my website, for example? That's a huge thing. So that's something I know I've come across. And I think it's important that we address this so people can really figure out where they're at. That way they have a place to go to move forward, you know?
Yeah, and we've talked about too. We've got clients, potential clients, friends, business owners in our circles, even on LinkedIn and in the communities that we are a part of, that are asking us, what's the difference between boosting a post and actually, running paid ads? So they sound similar. Like you boost a post, you got to pay for that, right? You run an ad, you're going to pay for that. But is there a difference? And if so, what is that? So that's kind of one of the things that we're going to address with this article here today. So without further ado,
I just want to talk about the pros of a boosted post. Um, okay, if you're boosting a post, right? You're sitting there, you're like, I'm setting my radius, I'm throwing out some what I think is custom targeting, and we're just gonna get the word out there. Boosted posts aren't necessarily bad. It just depends on what you're trying to optimize for. So if you're trying to run a brand awareness campaign and you're trying to get more people to your Facebook page to like it, you just want more attention, more engagement, great. Boosted posts are great. The reason why people are running boosted posts may not align with the way that boosted posts work. So a lot of people I find are running boosted posts that they think are ads, okay? Ads. And they technically are ads, okay? But they're not as segmented, targeted, and you can't optimize for actually having people buy things, which is, I'm assuming what you want people to do is buy things from you. So a lot of people are running these boosted posts as ads, and they think that it's an ad, but it's really not, okay? And so that's why I wanted to address it, because it's hard to get somebody who thinks they're already running ads and they're like, ads don't work because they're running ads that aren't really highly segmented. They're actually running boosted posts. But if you're doing a social cause and you're just trying to get local people, to join it, or you're a local community group, and that's the real reason why you're trying to get people to join your Facebook page or whatever, your Instagram page, great. But that's not why most people are running ads. Because when you're spending money, usually you want to get that money back in return if you're paying for advertising, right? And so that's kind of it. And then if you scroll past this little blue video, the pros of Facebook ads, I mean, woo! Look at how in-depth that is. Okay. Yeah, you guys can read through this. You guys have eyes, I'm sure, are literate and can read. So the thing about Facebook ads when you're dealing with them in ads manager and you're setting up a pixel and everything is that you have full customization. And I wonder, Thad, can you give me sharing capabilities? Because I want to show people behind the scenes, just my own personal campaign that I was running for myself, what a real ads campaign looks like. Because a lot of people have never seen, who are just boosting posts, have never seen ads manager, business.facebook.com, and they don't know what a pixel is. They're like, you mean a pixel on my screen? So I kind of want to show people what that means, so they understand what the heck's going on. So I'm not speaking Swahili to somebody who's speaking English, unless they are speaking Swahili and I'm speaking Swahili and we're speaking the same language.
And that's kind of the goal, right? We want to be on the same page with our clients and prospective clients. We want to understand their issues, and our job is to help them understand how we can solve those issues, right? Being on the same page is critical.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
and really quick, shout out to Jeremy and Eric. Thanks for showing up in the group. Good to see you guys here. And I did drop the link to this article in this post, in this live on Facebook. So you guys follow along if you're so inclined.
Yeah, that
You
might
share
help.
yours. There we go. Hi-oh.
Yeah,
We're still
so
learning all the technicalities of this stuff, guys.
hopefully everybody can see this. So to anyone who's running boosted posts, who's trying to get people to buy things from their website, if you've never seen this, it's going to look really scary, okay? But all these things right here, this is what a real ad campaign is going to look like. Whoa. Okay. So when an agency creates an ad campaign for you, they are going to have multiple different segments that they test, okay, for you with a bid strategy, budget, and they're going to be optimizing for a certain thing, okay? So what we like, all right, the impressions and the reach and stuff like that, that's probably what you're going to be seeing when you're looking at your boosted post. But this is way more in depth, okay? So boosted post is a great place to start to kind of understand, what you're doing when you're investing your money in advertising. But this is really where you want to be if you're trying to get people to buy something from you, okay? And what you can do when you have a pixel set up is you can actually track people off of Facebook. So when people click through my ad, they're actually going to be tracked even if they're not on Facebook and they've consented, iOS 14.5 and all that jazz. And if you don't know, we will make some content about that impacts you regarding how you should actually, go about doing that and addressing that issue. Because a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, cost per leads are really high, blah, 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 all this stuff. Listen, my cost per lead, last time I checked, was $68. Okay. It doesn't have to be expensive. And don't let that hold you back from a platform that can actually give you the most consistent stream of clientele out there. That doesn't mean give up your organic reach, but it means that this works. But understanding how it works will really help you understand how to make that kind of sound investment, right? So if you don't know, how the heck are you actually gonna, invest in it, right? So this is kind of what the back end looks like. And if you've never seen this before, again, it's gonna look kind of scary. But Thad, do you want to kind of comment on any of this and, maybe explain some things that you think people struggle to understand when they're in the perspective that I'm advertising this is what's the difference between a boosted post and using ads manager.
Yeah, for sure. I think, at least in my experience with my, the people that I like to say business partners, not so much clients, but the people that I
Mhm.
work with a lot, they've tried running ads, and some of them have boosted posts and some of them have used the ads manager. And I think one of the biggest things that confuses people, or that causes people a lot of stress, is the amount of data that's available. Like
Right.
Rachel, you were kind of alluding to, there's a lot going on here. And this is only one view, right? So where it says columns there in performance, we have a whole list of options of ways we can sort this data that are default methods by Facebook, but we can also customize the data to our own liking. And so, one of the biggest things that I've found is figuring out which metrics are critical to your business, which ones do you need to know and keep an eye on depending on what you're doing. So, Rachel, in this case, in this ads manager, we're looking for lead generation. That's going to be a lot different than what you're going to look for as an e-commerce store owner. Okay, you're going to be looking for maybe view contents, people that have come to your website and looked around. You're going to be looking for people that are adding to cart. You're going to look for people that are maybe initiating checkout, inputting payment information, and finally purchase. And so we can take all of this data and dissect it and figure out where is the breakdown in the customer journey and what do we need to do to fix it. Which part of that journey is causing our cost to rise, and which part of it is causing our cost to come down and be more efficient per dollar spent. So one of the things that I think we intend to do through this podcast over time is really dive into and help you guys understand these metrics so that you can measure them in your own business and make informed decisions about what you're doing and how you're spending your advertising dollars. Because really, like Rachel alluded to, boosting a post is fine if you just want likes, if you just want people to interact and like and share. But really, that's not going to drive sales for you. And you don't want to just be throwing your money at Mark Zuckerberg saying, "Help me, Mark, please." Right? You want to take control. You want to spend your dollars in the most efficient manner possible and generate sales in a positive return on ad spend for yourself. So we're here to help you with that. And we're going to help you understand these metrics, in the following podcasts.
That's
And it's super exciting. Okay. We do this every day. We're kind of nerds about this stuff, right, Rachel? I mean, we're in
Yeah.
these ad accounts all the time. So for us, we love it. Okay. And not everybody's going to love it. And that's totally okay. But what is important is that you understand it. And if you don't understand it, come to somebody that can help you. Come to Rachel. Rachel's really, really incredibly talented and gifted with ads managers, right? She can help you understand these things. Me and my team, we do the same thing. We're in this every day, all day. So ask in the group, ask questions. If you don't understand something, ask. Don't just throw money at it. Be prepared to learn. That's the best way you can help yourself. Or hire Rachel's ad agency. She'll do it for you.
Thank you, Dad. You are so kind. And I think it's great what you said about optimizing, like looking at the right metrics. We want to find the right performance indicators for you and what you're trying to accomplish with your business. And we're going to find what's the lowest cost way to do that by manipulating this data and changing things around for you. So I think people, wonder, okay, well, why wouldn't I do this myself? Well, one reason is that when we're managing ads, people wonder, okay, why do I have to pay advertising and then a management fee? Well, because we have a team in here who's making sure you get the lowest cost per lead, or you get the lowest cost, the lowest bid. That means that you're actually going to be optimizing every dollar spent. So sure, it costs money to manage it, but in the long run, you're actually saving money on the people who are actually driving revenue for your business, the people who are buying. So I think that's a really important point, because a lot of people wonder, well, what the heck are you guys doing in there? Once you set it up, if you're just used to boosting posts, you're like, well, once I set it up, isn't it just going to run itself and Facebook kind of does it for me? That's not the case. Facebook will assist you, but it doesn't actually run the whole campaign for you. That's where somebody with expertise comes in and does that. And maybe that's you if you want to do it yourself. Maybe that's your CMO, or maybe that's an agency. But making sure that that's done is going to drive the best results for your business. So I think it's really important that people understand that, so that they can make an informed choice when they're running advertisements.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I talk with people about is, you know, time management and the value of their time, right? So, as a business owner, your job is to run your business in the most efficient manner, generating profit, not just revenue, but profit. That is your job. Doesn't matter if you're a privately held company or a publicly held company. Secondly, what you do best probably is not advertising, unless you're an advertising agency. But if you're an e-commerce store and you're running ads, your job is to find products, right? Disseminate information about your products, ship your products, sell your products, market your products. Can you do all of those things every single day? In the beginning, absolutely. How many of us were solopreneurs, right? We're the only one. We open the doors and we sweep the floors, as one of my friends says. So when you're thinking about hiring an agency, consider the value of your time, right? As Rachel mentioned, it's not just the ad spend, it's the management of the ads. And we're sitting in here in these ad accounts all day long. We're dissecting the numbers, we're digesting all this information. Not only that, but we're creating new ad copy for you. We're taking the creatives that you have and testing them with all this ad copy, testing them against multiple audiences. We take that data, we refine it, we spin up more ad sets. How much is that worth to you in terms of revenue, in terms of profit? And then think about how many people it takes to do that. When you hire an agency, you're getting upwards of 4 or even 5 people that are working for you. And if you want to put those 5 people on staff, is that worth $5,000 a month to you? I understand that's $60,000 a year, but that's one salary for a lot of these positions, right? So now you're getting 5 for that same amount of money. So think about that. Those are the things that I talk with people about when they want to in-house the ads themselves. Totally understandable. You're going to save some money at first, but long term, it behooves you to really understand this. And then when you come to an agency, you understand the value that they can bring to you and why their fees are what they are. It'll really help you, digest that and make informed decisions about where you want to spend your money and your time.
That's awesome, Thad. Yeah, I think for a lot of people who are in this situation when they're first starting out, they are so strapped for cash, they're bootstrapping it, where they think, okay, I'm just going to do this myself. But they're not thinking about the long term, which is, we're a place where I'd say, well, maybe we think about getting some capital, for your business. Have you thought about, getting grants, getting some working capital, getting funding? Applying for a business loan, getting any kind of business credit. These are normal kinds of investments that maybe if you just started out in your business, you might be afraid to actually spend that on your business. But I think it's important to remember in the long term, if you believe in your business in the long term, and you have a long-term strategy for your business, whether that's an e-com store or, otherwise that you're selling online, it's really important to think about it like that, because if you're in the scarcity mindset of just thinking about the money coming in right now, which I get it, you may be worried about where how you're going to pay rent. The business has to eat first, okay? Because that's what's going to be giving you the money to eat, okay? So I think it's really important to remember that, and it can be hard when you're in the mindset of wondering how you're going to pay for yourself. But it's important to remember that when you're investing in your business, you have to look at that long-term growth strategy. Otherwise, you're just spending a lot of unnecessary capital upfront for usually less than 1x returns. You're in the hole. You're going to be in the hole. Okay. If you're doing boosted posts, you're doing it yourself, you're probably going to be in the hole and wondering why it's not working. And so with an agency, yeah, maybe you'll be in the hole for the first few months, but you're not going to be after that. So I think it's important to remember that when you're investing in your business.
Yeah,
And be,
absolutely.
you know,
Absolutely. You're right on, Rachel. It's, I see it a lot. And when you're first starting out, you've got to do a lot of it yourself, not only for capital reasons, but because as a business owner, you probably should understand at least a moderate level of what's going on in every phase of your business. Because if you hire somebody to take on this task for you, how do you know if they're doing a good job for you, right? So you need to understand what's happening in your business so that you can measure it, and what gets measured gets managed, right? So if you say, okay, I'm going to hire you, whatever this is, whether it's Facebook ads or anything else, I'm going to hire you to do this task. An employee wants to know, what are the bars that I have to hit? What are the measurements? How do I know if I'm doing a good job? And one of the best ways to know that is if you know yourself. I know that my CPAs need to be this. I know that my ROAS need to be that. I know when my cost per click is going up. I have a general sense of what needs to happen to change that. So you don't need to be an expert. And when you're starting out, you won't be. But come to us, come to the groups, ask questions, learn from these Facebook Lives. We'll be posting a lot of content in both groups. So make sure you're a member of both groups. We got a lot of really good people that are associated with us in these groups. And it's just a really good place to learn, have some fun. Rachel and I just have a ball together. We sit on phone calls all week long with various people, and we just have so much fun learning, playing off each other. Learning from each other, learning from people that we subscribe to their theories and their methods, and we're trying to soak up knowledge too. Nobody's an expert in everything, so come learn with us. We're gonna have a lot of fun doing this.
oh man, so well said, Thad. So well said. I can't even add to that. That was amazing.
Well, thank you. But so for those of you that have been on this, if you're in Facebook, thanks so much. Drop a like. Make sure you're following Rachel and I. Make sure you're in both of our groups. Ask questions. We're going to do this every week. Okay, so this is the Late Night eComm podcast. We're going to do this every week. So if you guys have things you want us to talk about, drop your questions in the groups. We'll cover them as we can, and we've got topics already in mind, but we're going to have a really good time, and we're here to help you guys. So don't be afraid. Don't be shy.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming. We will see you guys next week. Be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. Take care.
Bye, guys.